welcome to SVCM3DIA. My name is Navin and you are viewing Table Talk with Navin. And today I am having a wonderful guest that everyone knows in the police service. I have the Senior Superintendent, Mr. Wayne Meister. Pleasant good morning, Mr. Meister. How are you?
Pleasant morning to you.
And how is everything?
Everything is okay.
All right. Now we have some issues arising in the country that the nation would like to know what's already going on in terms of the crime, the road traffic issues that persons are being breaking the laws on the road, the pedestrian circumstances of persons crossing the road and stuff. So we have a lot of topics to discuss. But let me get to the important part where Mr. Meister came from, where the superintendent came from, in terms of before he become a police officer in Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, I would have been in the service for 34 years. This year will be 35. I would have joined the service at age 19, straight from school. I attended Belmont Secondary, which was commonly known Belmont Intermediate, now it's St. Francis College. So basically, I have not worked anywhere in my entire career other than in service. So I started in 1989, and the rest is history.
Wow, that was some challenge. That was kind of your love for the police service.
Well, yes, but during my school tenure, I was in cadets. So, once you join cadets, and I want to let persons know that cadets is a very, very important institution for young persons. And cadets would have molded and shaped in my direction. So based on cadets, I wanted to serve, whether it be in the defense force or police. So that particular year, 1988, every service was taking in persons, and I applied for all. And I told myself, well, whoever called me first, that's it. Okay. And the police called first, so the police got the first choice.
Mr. Meister, I know that you have some tough challenges going on with you for the past couple of years to present, and I know your work is very difficult these days, trying to figure out solutions and to fix the issues that arise in Trinidad and Tobago. All right? I know we have a lot of issues in terms of crime. We have issues related to accidents on the road, on our nation roads, on road fatalities. We have issues where we have breaking in and stuff, house break-ins. I know the nation would like to know from you personally that in terms of we starting with the crime situation in Trinidad, what are your plans for 2024? We're in the second month of the year of 2024 in February, and we have 10 more months to go. So what are the plans in terms of trying to deal with the situation of crime in Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, acting for the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, we have the Commissioner, Earl Christopher, and I'm a member of the executive. And we meet on a weekly basis, just to strategize. Because as we said, crime is something that affects every single person. In my series, I said that crime and safety is everybody's business. So we have a lot of strategies. Some of them, of course, I may not and cannot go into details. But what we want to let the members of the public know is that the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, this is our core function. We are committed in doing what we are doing. And we need the assistance of members of the public. Now, one of our strategic pillars is community partnership. So we try to partner with members of the community to form stronger bonds. So that's one of our main strategies, to interact with communities. We realize that where communities are weak and they are disorganized, criminals find that as a haven to get organized. But when you have communities that are well organized, you have the watch groups, you have networks, you find that they have a better system where they can deter criminal activities. Because criminals, they like easy targets. So one of our main trusts in our community partnership is to create what we call collective efficacy. That's by empowering members of the community so that they can operate and they will have that network with us where they can communicate with us. They are our eyes and ears on the ground. So that's one of our main strategies, is to get into the communities and partner with them so that we can empower them.
Okay, cool. Another thing I mentioned to the public, concerning the public, right, is that you all have been trying really hard to get the public to have faith in the police service. where a lot of faith the public have lose a lot of faith into the system. What strategy plan do you have to educate the public in terms of trying to convince them that the police service is trying their best to assist them and to provide a service to them in terms of dealing with situation? Now we all understand, the police service cannot be there before the crime or during the crime. That all the time it could happen. And some citizens doesn't understand that. And the citizens who don't understand that, they could be possibility be the ones that will be criticizing and saying the police not doing their job. Now, what plans do you have in place to educate the public or try to convince them, to please them and to satisfy the public that the police service is trying their best and all they need is for the citizens to work with you?
Well, yes, because we have a number of things that we do. Members of the public, visibility is a very important thing. So we know that the members of the public feel safe when they see police officers around. So just example, like carnival time, Monday and Tuesday, you see the police officers, we're out in our full numbers, and we are commended by members of the public, good job, we are around and so on. But they probably will want to see that throughout the year.
Right, true. That is the question I was going to ask you. Because the citizens will want to see that particular action taking place every day other than just an eventual day.
Yes.
You don't want to see because there will be seen numerous amount of officers for Independence Day, Emancipation, public holidays, where's the events happening, Carnival, then we have Easter coming up. So if they're being presented, I had to ask questions for the public, right? Yeah. Our station, SVCM3DIA, is to try to educate the public, to try to bring different interviews, different guests, to educate people, to let people understand who they are, what their function and roles is, right? So I understand that they're trying, but somehow they doesn't understand.
Well, that's the educated members of the public. It will be a challenge, and I'll tell you why. Now, these special events, Carnival Monday and Tuesday is considered a special event. Holidays, Easter is special events. So what we do on special events, we call out officers from all different aspects of life. We call persons off vacation leave. Now, remember the police service, we are a very broad organization. We have persons working finance branch. We have over 37 different sections, 10 divisions. So for the police service to run at maximum capacity and efficiency, we need to have officers in different areas working. So, but for special events, we call all those officers. So, for example, finance, officers who work in finance branch and administration branch and fraud squad and those special sections, they are actually called out from their core duties to perform carnival duties. So that's why you'll see plenty numbers on those special event days. But when Carnival Monday and Tuesday is over, police officers have to go back in different areas. So for example, fraud squad, they specialize in fraud matters. Mm-hmm. So they will go back into their section to deal with fraud matters. We have finance, we'll go back to finance matters. We have persons who work in the anti-corruption investigation bureau, those persons will go back. So that is why when persons ask why we can't maintain that intensity of officers during the year, that is the reason why, because we have other functions to fulfill. But we understand that there is a need for more police presence every single day during the course of the year. So that is something that we are working vigorously on in terms of our resources, vehicle-wise, manpower-wise, and so on. So that is in train as we speak. So the public is expected to see high police visibility for this year.
Very good. That is nice. That's good to see that. Because I know the police is trying to maintain their words to the public, maintain an order to the public. Right? In terms of the crime situations, right? What plans do you have in terms of the issues with the guns, with the firearms and stuff, the illegal firearms, and the robberies that take place in certain areas, in certain cities, in certain boroughs? I don't want to call particular names. I'm trying to. You will understand where I'm coming from. Right? And what plans do you all have in fighting this situation and trying to bring the crime rate down to a level?
Well, definitely the majority of our violent crime, they are perpetrated by firearms, illegal firearms. And one of our main strategies is to rid the streets of illegal firearms. And we have been doing consistently well over the years, where we, like for example, last year we recovered over 700 plus firearms, illegal firearms, off the streets, and we have increased that mandate to get more of the streets. So that is a very important component, because if persons are not in possession of illegal firearms, then it should all go well for the crime situation. So basically we are looking at that. We are looking at, of course, targeting our priority offenders, because at the end of the day, we have persons who are responsible committing these crimes. And I just want to say too, not just the whole focus on violent crime, we also focus on white collar crime, because we have a very serious issue with white collar crime.
My question is, the public will want to know, what is white collar crime?
Right, so white collar crime, so just put it in a simple form, the term was brought up in terms of persons working in office, and it links to fraud matters, pilfering of money, embezzlement, so along those lines. So you have persons who will, so a perfect example is a person may be working for a company, that person might be an accountant, and that person is, whilst they're organizing the finances for the company, they themselves are actually stealing from the company in a very innovative way, a way that cannot be detected until probably something pops up and an investigation is launched and they realize that your company is losing a lot of money in one stream.
So basically
so it's along those lines. It takes different forms and fashions. It comes in the forms of Ponzi schemes also. You remember we had some recently, we had a lot of issues with persons coming and saying, okay, if you invest this amount of money, you will get this. So it's a very unique way to rid people of their hard-earned cash by fooling them with trickery. So that's basically white collar crime.
Okay, understand. And I know I cut you off when I was making a statement just now, pertaining, and I asked the question, what is white collar crime? So let's continue back to what you were saying before we talk about what is white collar crime.
Yeah, so I was indicating to that, everybody, the trust is on violent crime. And yes, we know that is a critical issue, but I also want to mention to that white collar crime is also a situation which puts people in a very depressed mode. We have a lot of investigations going on where thousands of dollars is being pilfered from different agencies and so on. And that in itself creates a problem. So it's an all-pronged crime fighting attack with both violent crime and white collar crime. Of course, the crimes of a sexual nature, domestic violence, gender-based violence, all those come under our mandate as the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
Oh, okay, nice, very good. And another topic we want to bring up is community patrol. And the leaders have not seen regular patrol. The citizens want to see patrol of vehicles every hour, which is very difficult for you all to provide. But what plans do you all have for the community patrol for during the day and during overnight?
Well, we have a very strong community policing presence as we speak. Basically the challenges will be because of the volume of reports coming into various stations. So I'll just give you an example. So you have a police station, we have 2, 3, 4 vehicles, but that particular station, because there's a high volume of reports coming in, we have to tend to those reports. We have to service those reports. So probably at that time you may call for an issue, and our vehicles may be disposed with other activities,
reports.
Right? So we have to prioritize now, okay, which area shall we send a vehicle when somebody's reporting that there's a robbery in progress, or shall we send a vehicle to a member of the community who is saying that she has a dispute with her neighbor about water running in her yard? I'm not saying that is not important, because that in itself could lead to violence. But at that particular time, we have to prioritize certain reports. And so you may call at a particular time when a report is being attended to, and we will have to put ourselves in a position where we have to indicate to you that we will attend to your report, but as soon as we finish with this one, because of the amount of resources that we may possess at that particular time.
Miss Senior Superintendent, we have more discussions, more questions to discuss and answers, but we have to take a short break, all right? And we'll come back to those questions and answers, right?
Sure.
Folks, you are viewing Table Talk with Navin with my guest, Senior Superintendent Wayne Meister from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. We're going to take a few messages and we'll be right back after this.
Is creative writing a problem for your child? Are you lost trying to help them? And nothing seems to be working? Let Miss Shelley Ann, our creative writing specialist, help you. Get instructor training, online student classes, plus digital and printed resources for your success. Natasha CJ says, "Good morning, Shelley. I purchased your report writing package for my son. He was successful in his exams this year. Much thanks for your contribution." And Selma D says, "Your Tuesday sessions are amazing, and I learn a lot. I sometimes let my son listen to the videos where required." Khadijah B says, "I am happy that I reached out. I will keep recommending you, not only for your excellent CW skills, your rapport with the children, but just your general helpful nature. Thank you, Miss. Get the help you need with creative writing. Find us on Facebook, visit our website, or WhatsApp 868-717-4993 today. Word Coach Limited, helping you find better words."
In a world where digital landscapes evolve daily, meet Reb Technology. We build mesmerizing websites that captivate users and inspire businesses, armed with over 35 years' knowledge in media. We deliver ingenious solutions to your media requirements. Unleash the power of innovation with Reb Technology services and get your website built today. Contact us on 868-487-6888 or email Orbaron at rebtechnology.com to embark on a digital journey like never before. Reb Technology. Your project is attainable.
Hi, and welcome back to Table Talk with Navin here on SVC Media. I made a few errors in the beginning of the show, and before I went to the break, I addressed Mr. Wayne Meister, his wrong position in the police service. Mr. Wayne Meister is the acting Assistant Commissioner of Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. So I apologize for addressing you wrongly. Okay, it was an error, but I correct it, and I just hope that you forgive me for that little mistake. It does happen sometimes. My apologies. All right, folks, I apologize for the error. We're going to discuss about road situations that happen right now. With the fatalities, the driving condition of these drivers on the road, breaking the speed limit, going over the speed limit. There are a lot of accidents. A lot of accidents happen every day. Every day on this road, and every day I saw a vehicle. Either the vehicle run off the road, hit accident collision, or vehicle crash, someone died or someone injured in the hospital. And common sense, a vehicle in a terrible state, obviously you know one out of two things: driving over the speed limit. And what I have witnessed now, I know we discussed something earlier before you came on the program, and I want to make one statement, and this is everybody questions, right? I relating the questions to you from the nations that view in this program that will want to know one question they will ask. We are seeing vehicles parked on the roadsides of the highway, on patrol with their swivel lights on. And I have witnessed persons driving over the speed limit. Flying, of course, passing in front of the vehicle that is there, standing at the side of the road, is parked at the side of the road, monitoring this vehicle that passing. I think, what is their position for parking there? What is their responsibility? And failing to act on such, how are you all willing to deal with this situation?
All right, but before I answer that, I want to bring something in perspective, and I want to let the public know that in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Traffic and Highway Patrol Branch, I'll carry back from the year 2008.
Right.
We had over 230 fatalities on the roadways, and that number has been decreasing every single year. As a matter of fact, for the past 3 years, the fatalities have been under 100. So that is kudos and commendation for the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service as a whole for bringing the fatalities down. Now, of course, every fatality is one too much. So, we are not celebrating that, there's only one, less than 100, but we just want members of the public to know that because of robust enforcement on the roads, we were able to reduce those fatalities from 200 coming only at 190 something to below 100, and we intend to carry it on even further this year, 2024. Right? So, to answer your questions, motorists, of course, we have a society that operates in a particular way.
They doesn't respect.
Yeah. Well, I just said about the road regulations. So you have three contributors. We have driving under the influence. We have driving over the speed limit, and we have persons driving deprived of sleep, which are the three main contributors for fatalities. Right? Now we're in the season of carnival, persons are going from fete to fete to fete.
Let me pause if I second.
Go ahead.
My job is a lot of events I cover.
Right.
It's all hours we work. We work long hours with no sleep.
Right.
Sometimes we go there 4 o'clock in the morning and not reaching until 2 o'clock next morning. Sometimes reaching 4 o'clock. Like for example, I leave home yesterday at 8 a.m. Sorry, 7 a.m.
Yeah.
I did not reach home until Minister 4 this morning.
All right.
So I only get 1 hour sleep.
You see?
Right? And me alone from that southbound lane to straight to San Grande, it was a pressure for me to reach home.
All right.
But what's my main fear? Knowing that I have equipment in the vehicle, I cannot just park at the side of the road and take a nap or power nap or something. Because my fear is someone seeing a vehicle on the side of the road, you don't know who that individual is. They will come and they will try to either rob you or break into your vehicle and hijack you and take their vehicle with the equipment and stuff. And I assume that is why people try to fight the sleep to get to their destination and end up.
Yeah. And that is a...
What, before we go to that question, I want to ask you, that we just finish the answer that he was given to the question, and then we'll come back to that question.
Right. So you was asking about some of the vehicles. You saw some vehicles on the highway parked up. Now, we would have embarked on what we call...
when I say park, because I mean...
Yeah, they are parked. I understand what you mean, yeah.
Then
we're called static, yeah, we call it static patrol.
Right, static patrol.
Yeah.
But I have witnessed vehicles driving at a certain speed level, faster than the speed level, the speed I'm driving at, which is beyond the speed limit on the highway. And they just park there. So it's like they're not going to waste their time to chase that vehicle, or is it just wait till something happens to them and then they respond to the...
No, it's a combination of those vehicles are strategically placed on certain parts of the highway as what we call vehicle interceptors. So the public have to realize we have two major highways in Trinidad and Tobago. We have the east-west highway
and
we have the north-south, right? Those are the two major arteries in Trinidad and Tobago.
Correct.
So the traffic and highway patrol, we cover those areas. And we are strategically placed in certain areas as interceptors. So if you have a crime that is being committed within the divisions, criminals normally will want to use the fastest way to move, which
to get
we
to
have
point A to point B.
Correct. And we...
But sometimes I do.
Very right. So we are alerted and, we intercept. But I get your point. There are certain situations where we would observe vehicles operating and committing offenses on the road and we have to intercept. So that particular vehicle you must see there, that probably could have been a one-off, but the purpose of those vehicles there is to be in a position where we can respond as quick as possible to any traffic offense or criminal offense that has been taking place and the roads are being used as a point of escape.
Because the reason why I asked you this question is because you sit down amongst people and they're talking, and you hear a person talking about this and about that, they're seeing something going on, police right there, you can pass them, they didn't stop the vehicle, they didn't make no attempt to chase the vehicle, to stop the vehicle.
And I must say, the same sort of people will say, when we are actually enforcing speed, they want to know why the police enforcing speed when we should be going to catching criminals. So it's a double-edged sword for us.
Well,
if you understand what I'm saying.
I have watched a lot of police. It's something called police chase. That I did see sometimes on Facebook and I did see it on cable networks. It's called highway patrol police chase.
Yeah.
When drivers going over the speed limit or illegally merging into lanes without indication, and creating we call a hazardous drive to other drivers on the road.
Yeah. Of course, once we observe that,
and they just proceed. You remember the show called Chips?
Yeah.
California Highway Patrol Police Service, and there was bikers, and they were officers on bikers.
Yeah.
And they were officers on the vehicles, and they patrol on the highway up and down.
Yeah, well, we have the same template. We have the same template. So, as I said before, a person might observe that, and might be a one-off, but we have the same template where if an offense has been observed, police officers could be in hot pursuit and give chase and so on, whether on motorcycle or in vehicles.
But I wanted to inform the nation for me is that let the people know that the police service, the officers on the highway patrol, have all legal rights to go over the speed limit if they have to apprehend a vehicle or on a high-speed chase to a vehicle when it's such, because certain of people does not understand that the officers have rights to do their job and do whatever means necessary.
Well, I want to use that word rights guardedly because we as police officers still have to observe certain regulations on the road. So, for example, you might think that it will be okay for us to go through a red light in an emergency situation, but that is not the case. We have to exercise every bit of caution because if you go through a red light and we put another member life in jeopardy, we can find ourselves in hot water. So we have to do both things. We have to try to apprehend the person, but at the same time, we must exercise every single precaution that will cause us to save lives. So one emergency must not create another emergency. That is what I want to let members of the public know. So sometimes you find that we may have to abort a chase for the simple reason that we may put other person's life in danger. If we have to do that, we'll have to do that because we cannot put other person's life in danger in the pursuit of our jobs.
True. I agree to 100%. Folks, I hope you all agree to it because the police have some challenging times ahead of them to try to make sure and satisfy the nations out there. Because I was a victim of crime once, but it was dealt with. I was very young. It was dealt with legally, and I was satisfied about the service I had gotten from the police service based on the situation I had experienced. All right, but just to let you all know, folks, is that the police cannot be there all the time when the crime is happening. That is why we depend on you all to assist the police service. If you all assist the police service, it's unfair that you stand up and see something happen to that individual and not try to come together as a group to defend that person. At the end of the day, how would you feel that you're a victim of a crime and everybody stand up and watching you being that victim and not make an attempt to try to help you in a situation where one person pick up the phone and call the police service and the others try to apprehend the suspect or try to protect you as an individual being victimized by a criminal? How can we try to convince the public that we all have to hold each other's hands and look out for each other, not just for your family, but for the strangers out there too? Because we have witnessed, and I assume that you all witness this too, that a person gets a right there and everybody want to pull out the phone, but not to make an attempt to help the situation. Yes, they will be fear for their life because this person might have a firearm. But if 10 person or 20 person try to defend one person, that individual will hesitate and run. But it protected a person's life. How we try to educate the public on that?
Right, so we're asking members of the public, our mantra is if you see something, say something. Not every time that, members of the public will be in a situation to help you. Just mention it. It may be a situation where it's a violent crime, a person may be armed with a firearm, and we won't ask members of the public to put their life in
at risk,
unnecessary risk, right? But if whatever you could do in whatever form or fashion, what it means calling the police, what it means making observations, telling us what the suspect was wearing, a description, all those things will help. One of the things we want to remind members of the public too, especially in communities, sometimes and I want to commend the members of the public for sometimes they may do a what you call a citizen's arrest. and they may apprehend somebody. Somebody was probably breaking in someone's home,
Yeah.
and they would have
I
apprehended
think
the
I
person.
saw that recently.
Right.
Yeah.
So, your job is to restrain the person using minimum force as necessary, and then you contact the police. What we don't want is vigilante justice. We don't want members of the public to operate in such a manner that could cause themselves to either be injured, or you might find yourself being questioned by the authorities now why this person has died in your custody, so to speak. So, yes, you assist the situation by apprehending the person, but you need to contact us immediately so that we could come and take that person into lawful custody to charge them.
But the citizens doesn't understand the fact. They're looking at it this way, right? How to put it.
Mm.
They apprehend a suspect. What we recently saw sometime happened a few months last year.
Right.
Where this individual shot a bandit, an intruder in his own place. And he was charged for bodily harm to the individual, I think it was. And his firearm was taken away, right? I know this is an incident that took place last year, but there are citizens out here, because of that, they are scared trying to defend their own property in their property. Because I think the law is they cannot go 40 yards beyond your property to attack anybody who try to attack you in your place, right? Correct?
No. It's a.
Correct, man.
I want to bring it in context.
Right.
Now we have a lot of different situations. Every situation is different.
Right.
So I'm speaking about someone commits a crime in your community. Somebody from outside
No,
come
but in your
right. Okay.
yard,
If somebody comes into your home,
right, correct.
I have my series which I call deter and defend.
Right.
You have all rights to defend your property and your family.
Right.
I mean, everyone, if you ask them, will you defend your family if you have an opportunity to from physical harm?
Right.
And the answer will be overwhelming, yes. What we are saying is that if you have no other choice, you could defend your family. I'm not going to tell you how to defend the family. You can defend your family. What I'm referring to now is we have a number of members of the community apprehend this particular person. So you all have numbers. You all apprehend the person, you all restrain them. But while that person is being restrained, and whilst we are waiting for the police officers to arrive, somebody in the crowd decides, you know what? Let us deal with this man before the police reach. So they decide to beat the man mercilessly.
And they have the person in custody.
But the person is already restrained.
Yeah.
So you already have the advantage. You all apprehend the person's good job. The police is on their way. But when the police arrive now, we realize that the person dies in your custody, in a group settings, right? So it means to say we are not encouraging vigilante justice. We have groups that can look out, apprehend the person, call the police officers, we will come. That is totally different to if you are home, you and your family home.
Right.
Somebody invades your home,
Right.
invades the sanctity of your home, and you are in a position where you have no other choice because the situation is so volatile that you and the person start a fight because you're defending your family.
True.
Then I say defend your family. So I wouldn't say any more on that because I don't want to give persons to mislead anybody, but I and you, every one of us have a right and will defend our family if it needs be. And we'll defend it using any means necessary.
Well, that is very good. I'm glad to know that we're trying to educate the public here, sir, because at the end of the day, it is important that the public have this information correctly.
Yeah.
So they know how to work with the laws,
Correct.
right, within themselves and within the police service and within Trinidad.
I just want to say one thing.
Sure.
The concept of defending yourself. If, like, we as police officers, this is police officers by law. This is how we are governed by law. When we use deadly force, so when there's a police involved shooting, we are only allowed to use deadly force when our life or the life of someone else is in immediate or imminent danger. The danger to be as we speak. So if that is the case, if my life is in immediate danger, and I have no other choice.
Like if someone pull a firearm for you.
Right, somebody's shooting at me.
Any form of weapon.
Right, and they attack me.
Yeah.
We as police officers assessing the situation, we have to match force on force.
Right.
So I don't expect someone is shooting at the police and the police is saying, sir, could you please put down your gun? There will be what you call an exchange of gunfire. So the police officers have to defend themselves.
That is something we need to discuss
Right.
when we come up from this.
We have to defend ourselves. So it's the same concept with members of the public. You are in a situation where your life is in immediate danger. Your family life is in imminent danger. If you don't act, or you have an opportunity to act, sometimes you may not have an opportunity to act. But if you do have an opportunity to act, and that is the only act that you have to do to defend your family, then you need to defend your family.
Okay.
So that's just to clear up everything.
Okay, that is very important information for the public. Folks, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back here. As we see me there, we'll Table Talk with Navin.
In a world where digital landscapes evolve daily, meet Reb technology. We build mesmerizing websites that captivate users and inspire businesses, armed with over 35 years' knowledge in media. We deliver ingenious solutions to your media requirements. Unleash the power of innovation with Reb Technology Services and get your website built today. Contact us on 868-487-6888 or email orbaron@rebtechnology.com to embark on a digital journey like never before. Reb Technology. Your project is attainable.
Don't let words frustrate you. Need help with writing? We help you get your words right. Finish your manuscript and get published. Complete your dissertation with excellence. We offer writing coaching, workshops and seminars, and developmental editing. We help you produce your best work. WhatsApp 868-717-4993. Check out Word Coach Editor on Instagram or visit our website at wordcoach.com. Word Coach Limited, helping you find better words.
Hi, and welcome back to Table Talk with Navin. And I'm here with my guest is here with me, Mr. Wayne Meister, the Acting Assistant Commissioner of Police of Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. So, we was discussing a few things earlier on in terms of the build a relationship with the public in terms of getting them to understand the situation with. So we discussed about defending themselves, how you go about defending yourself and your family within your perimeter of your living conditions, right, and the home and stuff. If I intrude or break in, we talk about the road situations with the accidents and stuff, and how the police will deal with it with the traffic, the high traffic branch, rapid response and stuff. We talk about the murder situation and taking place, the firearms, illegal firearms and stuff. What plans do you have for the rest of the year? What plans, I should say, this police service have? Because I have spoken to persons and I just have interesting conversation with them. I want to go back into the community aspect of it, right? And the question is, can the police service create a certain staff to do foot patrol in the community where they are alone responsible for walking through the areas? They set up booths for the police service, like a mobile booth and a mobile vehicle. Like always have the mobile vehicle park up in Port of Spain when they have carnival and to control the traffic and they have the roadblock and stuff. They do have what you call a mobile vehicle park there in certain communities where they have foot patrol within the neighborhoods. Let them build a relationship with the residents. Let them officers build a nice relationship with them. I think that will build a confidence within the citizens. Don't think that their officers walk foot patrolling within their area, the community that they live, and they can interact with persons, they have respect, they see they have coming home, and they feel so safe that they have police foot patrolling within these areas that the police service could create that particular amount of staff for that purpose?
Yeah, definitely. No, we have those systems, but our challenge is one of consistent resources. So you'll appreciate the fact that we have a number of communities in Trinidad and Tobago, and we have our community policing officers and regular officers doing various patrols in different areas. We walk in the beat. We have a lot of programs. The police service, we have, as a matter of fact, took the place from a lot of various other stakeholders and various agencies who had particular responsibilities. We have police officers in communities who actually have homework centers set up for members of the community. We have policing youth clubs. We have over 100 policing youth clubs spread throughout Trinidad and Tobago. And we have our officers there on a weekly basis. So if you are telling me that, okay, we need to see them a little more consistent and have more officers, then I could agree with you. But the system is in place. But as I said before, our challenge is having that consistent amount of resources to keep it flowing. Like
what are the what is the when you say resources? What do you mean resources?
Well, resources. You spoke about having a mobile booth, right? So
that's one of the resources.
That's one of the resources that, if you're talking about having a mobile booth in almost one in every other community, it still requires a certain amount of resources to have that to place in those communities.
So you ever think about having meetings in the communities that the communities, the residents within the communities will come together and build, like how the private, the way called gated communities have their own security booths and they have their own officers, that every hour 2 officers will patrol within that gated community. Now, I'm not talking about gated, I'm talking about community in the whole. Like we say, you're going Grandy, instead of just walking the main road to control the traffic, you have those officers for that. Whereas the traffic ones, right? We're talking about officers now, that they have a specific booth there for them, that the community could design and build to help you all to provide those facilities where the officers could be comfortable and they could do their patrol within the community. So you're looking at the main roads in Standing Grandy. Not even the streets. So they'll walk, take a little tour, take a walk, come back and sit down and take a breather, you walk again. Yet, you ever sit down and discuss with the community, or ever create a program where you look at discuss with the communities that they could try to assist you all to provide that accommodation so that they could provide the officers for them to have a foot patrol within that area and a regular patrol that could help a lot with the crime situation that is happening.
Yes, we have what we call community town meetings. Every single division,
right,
station districts, we have
I
that.
guess I never asked that question.
No. That is going on. No, as a matter of fact, but I want to let you know that will require a significant amount of human resource personnel, because you have to appreciate the fact that the police, our duties are wide.
Yeah.
We have a lot of duties to do. So what we decided to do, we decided to do the reverse. So what we will do, we will send our officers in, and we want to empower members of the community. So it's not about, because if the community want police officers to come in every single community in Trinidad and Tobago, which there's a lot, that will require probably 3-4 times the amount of persons we have in the service. So we have to use our resources wisely. We have to manage it wisely. So what we do, we go into the community. We say, okay, what are the issues in this particular community? Because remember, every community is different. Some communities may not need a patrol. They may probably need jobs for the members of the community. Probably that's all they need. So it's a needs analysis. So in the town meetings, we inquire what is needed from the community. So we say, okay, the first thing we're going to do is set up a community group. That community now will tell us, okay, what is your issue? A community might say, you know what? We have a lot of bushy areas in the area, and we find that when we have plenty of bushes in the area, criminals like to lime in those abandoned buildings. So we will say, okay, no problem. We're going to liaise with TNTech, we're going to liaise with the municipal corporation. So we have what we call crime prevention through environmental design. So our job is to prevent crime also. So we're going to make sure there's proper lighting, there's proper facilities for young persons to play sports. The police will monitor those things. So the only time you'll call in the police is when we have to actually deal with a matter that needs to go before the court. So we are empowering communities. That's why I said before at the start, community partnerships. We partner with the communities so that we can manage our resources more effectively. So it's not just a matter of just putting officers in different communities, because every community have a different need in terms of what they require from the TTPS.
Okay, all right, cool. And the next question to you is that how can we resolve? We have issues where violence is being taken place at their home, at persons' homes, in terms of abuse, sexually abuse, physically abuse, their own members of the families. We have a lot of victims out there that is sexually abused by their own parents and physically abused by husbands and wives. How we planning to treat? How you all planning to treat with these things that is occurring regularly?
Well, we have a very well established gender-based violence unit. Right, that unit is established. And their mandate is to look at those situations that are taking place in the homes. We have the child protection unit, we have the sexual offences unit. We have those units that are geared and equipped to deal with those situations. And we are asking members of the public, if you see something, it may not be affecting you, but it may be affecting the neighbor next door.
But the question is, Mr. is that there's too many times they requesting the public to do these things, and victims are not coming out. They are scared. How can we convince them and educate them more than you're already trying to?
Well,
to convince them to come out there and make the report and speak, because I have known persons who are victims of rape, victims of sexual abuse, victims of even the husbands beating their wives, right? And they're just afraid. It's either they love the husband too much to complain to them, to make a complaint against them, or they're scared because they are trying to involve and they're not coming out and speak. The only time they just come out and speak is when somebody else make a report of what's happening. And when the police show up, no officer, no this, I came from a media background. And I come from the TV6 and TDT and all these media houses. And we work with the police, we work out there on the field, and trust me, others be witnessing it still. So I know you all have a plan, you all have a program set. But the next thing is that how can you convince these victims to come out and speak, to come out and make a complaint, to come out and report the situation that is happening to them? Because we have a lot of victims out there living their life with that in their mind. They get older with it, they grow with that in their mind, and then it just die with it, and they never live a happy life, because all the studying is moving forward, it's going to happen to them again. So they live in a life with fear. But you know this too, sir, that there are persons doesn't want to come and join the program because they are ashamed. Either they're ashamed or they're scared. How can we get to deal with the situation? Because I know for a fact that when you all get phone calls of a rape victim, a person being raped or violated, physically abused, mentally abused, and you all send the officers on the location to deal with the report, right? They have been turned away. The officers have been turned away. They don't want to relate with the officers. They just don't want to have that kind of publicity. They're scared. How all could they fix that?
Right. You mentioned earlier that this program is also part so that we can educate the public.
Yes.
So I want to let members of the public know that police officers, remember one of our main areas of performing our duties is to bring persons before the court.
Correct.
Now, to bring somebody before the court, we must satisfy that evidential threshold that will require a matter to go before the court. So that means we need evidence, and evidence comes in the forms of all different forms. So a victim statement So especially in the cases of sexual offences, a victim statement is critical for a matter to be before the court. If there is no victim statement, it poses a challenge to us.
Right.
So what you'll find happen is that you mentioned that sometimes we get a report, we deal with the report, and then suddenly the victim says that, you know what, let's say in a domestic violence, a husband and wife situation, you know, officer, well, it's all right, I don't want no action against him and so on, and you know, so you're going back to square one, and we have no choice, our hands are tied. However, in this new dispensation of our gender-based violence unit, once we have the information and we do our necessary investigations, we can put somebody before the court. Even though a spouse might say afterwards that, you know, obviously I don't want any action, that person will have to go and tell the court that, because we are not taking any chances, because sometimes we allow persons to go back into a relationship and bam, we get a murder-suicide.
Yeah.
So we're not taking those chances. To answer the next question now, to build the confidence to get persons to come out, our new unit, we have that in every division where a person can go. No, you're not going any when you go to a police station, you simply ask, you would like to speak to somebody from the gender-based violence unit. That's all you have to say.
Yes.
And the person will carry you in an area where that unit is located, and they will be speaking to you on a confidential basis. So you don't need to go in front of the station where, you know, somebody make a report and they'll feel intimidated. So we have ways where we could accommodate victims and make them feel comfortable. So you want to let members of the public know that it is okay. We need you to come and make those reports. We need you to come and tell us what's happening. It is in the strictest confidence, and we will try our best to work with your situation because you want that situation to change. So we are inviting persons to come forward and make those reports and get that special attention that is needed for those special crimes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So folks, you all hear that? There are plans. It is for you all to work with the police service. Because the police service is here to work for you all. It's to assist you all and to serve you all. Protect and to serve. That is the motto.
With pride.
With pride. All right, so we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back here on SVC Media with Table Talk with Navin.
Don't let words frustrate you. Need help with writing? We help you get your words right. Finish your manuscript and get published. Complete your dissertation with excellence. We offer writing coaching, workshops and seminars, and developmental editing. We help you produce your best work. WhatsApp 868-717-4993. Check out Word Coach Editor on Instagram or visit our website at wordcoach.com. Word Coach Limited, helping you find better words.
In a world where digital landscapes evolve daily, meet Reb Technology. We build mesmerizing websites that captivate users and inspire businesses, armed with over 35 years' knowledge in media. We deliver ingenious solutions to your media requirements. Unleash the power of innovation with Reb Technology services and get your website built today. Contact us on 868-487-6888 or email orbaron@rebtechnology.com to embark on a digital journey like never before. Reb Technology. Your project is attainable.
Hi, and welcome back to Table Talk with Navin Sergio. And I'm here with Mr. Wayne Meister, our acting commissioner of the assistant commissioner of the Toronto Police Service. Mr. Meister, again I'm making mistakes. But that is the fun part of this program.
Okay.
We all make mistakes, we correct it. Alright, as time goes along. So we have limited time, but we have 2 questions before we close off today's program. Alright, I wish I had another hour we could spend with each other to discuss more issues, but so far we discussed issues that is important to the public. Alright, we get down to all the questions the public will want to know. They give them the answer they need to hear. It's up to the public now to understand, to forgive the police service, and start working with you all. And I know that's a difficult thing to do. That's the hardest thing to get them to work with you all. Because, alright, let me put it this way. If there are family members who have kids, children who is a part of crime, who affiliated themselves within the criminal activities, But when the kids get captured by the police on a scene that they've been committing a crime, the parents is trying to come out and try to defend. Some parents defend for their kids. What's your take on that, and how can we educate those type of parents who know that their kids are part of the crime, the criminal activities, and not taking action towards it? How can we deal with that?
All right, that's a very, very good question, because you ask the question if the parents are fully aware. Now, it have some parents may not be aware.
That's why I use some.
Yeah,
parents.
they may not be aware, and quite rightfully, so it's natural that you're going to defend your child, and especially if you're
not
unaware,
yeah.
right? And so I empathize with parents from that side. However, if it is that a parent is fully aware that their child is involved in nefarious activities, and as a matter of fact, they are actually benefiting from those nefarious activities, they are benefiting from it. I am saying that pretty soon that the crime that you are benefiting from is going to come back to affect you some way or sometime.
It'll backfire.
It's going to backfire, because situations end up where it are times that we execute search warrants on a person, and you'll appreciate the fact that if, let's say, I'll just use this as an example, if we find firearms, ammunition, narcotics in a dwelling house, the dwellers in that particular house at that particular time will be arrested, every person. And it is difficult to know that if it is that you are unaware of something.
But how will you know? What evidence do they have to prove to you or the service that they're not aware of what's going on?
Well, that's my point exactly. So it means to say that no, this matter have to be ventilated before the court. So you go there, executing a warrant on your home. We have information that your son is involved in firearms, ammunition. So we execute a search warrant. You are unaware.
Mm-hmm.
So we execute the search warrant. We find firearms and ammunition. You are present there. It means to say that you all will be arrested.
So, which means that the parent will communicate will communicate with you all, and accepting the fact that you provide you summons in a warrant, a search warrant. They working with you. Okay, sir, no problem. Go ahead. That is how you. That can you. Is it based on the parent action that you could determine that a parent doesn't know what's going on?
Not necessarily, because our parents, we have persons who could act very good. You could be fully aware, and you are pretending. Right. But the point about it is that what I'm trying to get at is that if you are not minding your business, in the sense that you're not monitoring your children and trying to find out the activities that they're involved in, then pretty soon when it's reached a situation, and I'm just giving you one example, where we execute a search warrant, we come in your home, we find firearms and ammunition. Let's say you are unaware, but you'll still be arrested. You have to now go and get a lawyer to defend your name, to prove to the court that you had no knowledge that your son had this or your daughter had this in the home. So, and that's why I say that it could backfire now if you are not monitoring the activities of your children, especially when they're living under your roof. So my advice to members of the public is to monitor, especially if you're not aware and you're a law-abiding citizen, but sometimes we don't know what our children will get involved in as they go outside. But you have to observe things. You observe that your son or daughter is acting in a particular way. You observe that they're not working, but they're wearing the most expensive clothes, all the different things.
I have two grown sons, Zachary and Xavier, and their age is 21 and 19. They never go nowhere on their own until they reach 19.
Right.
And the most they will do is go to work and home. But if they have to go out anywhere with their friends, I had to know who their friends are.
Right.
And I had to make sure that who their friends are affiliated with.
Correct.
I have to know their background. I have to build a relationship with their parents too. Because I'm not going to let my son go out there, as big man as he is, and next thing you know, he get himself bad influenced by his friends to do such, and then get caught up in it. It's trouble easy to get into, but it's harder to get away from it.
Correct.
And parents are not understanding that. So I don't understand. We came from an old background of grandparents and uncles and grandfathers and aunts. And they said, preachers, that trouble easy to get into, but it's hard to get away from it. And you're telling me that certain people just never learn from that specific word, phrase, easy to come, but hard to get away. Right? Now, it is not a hard thing. People major excuse out here is, I work in and I have time. I had to be a single parent. Hey, some mothers and fathers were single parents growing up with children and still make it to monitor and supervise all you. So what's so hard to you to supervise your own children or monitor them or make sure they be on the right track? I find parents just make too much excuses. I know I will get bashed for this, but it's the truth. Parents get lackadaisical. They find it's too much strain on their shoulders, so they could give them a little freeway so they can have some time for themselves. I think that is what has caused the children to go and find attention from other persons. Do you think that has happened? Do you think you agree with parents when they complain about, I am tired, I can't deal with this right now? Or, for example, look, just do whatever you want, they just brush off the children. So you think that could cause the children to follow the wrong persons out there when they're trying to seek attention, or they're not getting proper supervision from their parents?
Yes, definitely, that's one of the factors. So parents, a child under the new law, a child is anybody under the age of 18, right? So it used to be 16 and under, now it's 18 and under. So you have a responsibility as a parent, at least till 18 years with that child. After that, the child is considered an adult. But you also have a level of responsibility if that person is over the age of a child and is still residing at your residence. That is your domain. You have to take control of that. So if you don't, then you will find yourself being involved or pulled into activities that person may be involved in. Now, you said something that you monitor your children, you engage with the parents and so on, and that's excellent. That's excellent parenting. And we need to get persons to be more involved in the children's life. If not, other persons. Yes, we have the gangs operating as parents also. So when you neglect them, the gangs are the ex-officio parents, the ex-de facto parents.
Mr. Sorry, sir, but we had to come to a close to the program today, but I will be calling you back on the program shortly to discuss more issues, and we will try to get a representative, if you could, from the child care services, or in the police service, they call it the
Child Protection Unit.
Child Protection Unit, and we could have a next interview will be with you and a member from the Child Protection Unit to continue this program, right? This interview, but we have to come to the end of today's program because of the time against us, right? Sure. And I know you have your work ahead of you. All right. So Mr. Meister, thank you very much for being on the program. Thank you very much. You have your table talk with Navin, and we have to come to our ends program today with Mr. Wayne Meister, Acting Assistant Commissioner of the Toronto Bigger Police Service. And we would like to thank him for being here, but he will be here again soon. Okay? And you have your own sound visual concept, SVC Media, table talk with Navin. Thank you and have a good day. Be safe and play it safe away.